And we are live for a fine Thursday morning/afternoon and evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's a great day indeed to do a live. We're going to go over a lot of topics, including the fact that, like, everywhere on YouTube, every single YouTuber and all over Twitter is just people talking about how a big correction is coming and how you should get prepared. But not on this channel. On this channel, we're actually updating in real time as to what's going on with Bitcoin, what to expect. Actually, the group just got information about a lot of stuff last night that played out today. So we're really excited to go over that with you. We're also going to talk about Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto crusade and how that's going for her. I mean, she's still out there dragging her feet and trying her hardest to make this not go forward, to make crypto not a thing. I mean, we've all known for a long time that her pockets are lined by the banks. At least that's what we can read in between the lines, right? And that she's having a really hard time letting go of the control. She even called it a golden egg. What's up, James? James, member of the Capital Mindset in the chat. Welcome. It's good to have you. We're just going over some news now, and we're talking about Elizabeth Warren and how she's really, really upset about the potential passing of these crypto bills. And she even referenced it to being like the golden egg of Wall Street for so long. But just in her rhetoric, even it just sounds so insane, because it clearly she's talking about, you know, Wall Street and the elite and all of the things that regular people don't have access to. And I think it's just like pretty tone deaf. I don't know. You know, this is why we're in crypto, because we want to change, because we want to upgrade the system, because we like what blockchain can do for the world. And the title of this show is called "Will Crypto Collapse the Economy Forever?" In fact, the reason why we titled it that is because Elizabeth Warren actually believes it will. And she is terrified, well, not the economy, but at least the economy as she knows it, within the banking and the traditional rails. And she is terrified of all of these things coming to fruition. Maylee, what's up, Maylee? Hello, welcome to our show on this fine Thursday afternoon. We're just talking about how people in the US on the highest levels are terrified for these crypto bills to pass. In fact, they're in there debating it right now. And it's actually a really interesting debate to see just how people are thinking, because it's really backwards, so many of them. Then we've got the crypto advocates that actually get it, that actually understand why this could be good for everyone. But then we've got people like Elizabeth Warren talking about the golden goose and the golden egg of the stock market, and how crypto would just implode our entire economy. It's almost as if they just never studied at all, don't understand anything at all, or they did, and they understand that their system as they know it is in danger of collapse. Yes, the traditional rails, the old ways are crumbling, and they're hanging on by a thread, guys, hanging on by a thread. So preach, Megan, preach. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, because I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe what's happening there in Congress. And some of the people, like, what they're saying is insane. What's up, Christina? Welcome. Nice to have another lady on the show. Great show. Yeah, we got a great show for you, and we're so happy to have you here. And we got a lot of big announcements. One exciting announcement for tomorrow on Friday, but mainly, if you're just tuning in, we're going to go over what's actually in the charts, because a lot of YouTubers have been calling for a big correction. And there's been a lot of sort of like tiptoeing around on whether or not like we're standing on solid ground. And we're giving it to you how it is in the Capital Mindset Trading Group. And we just, you know, we're taking action on that. And so if you were in the group, you did get that notification before everybody else. And we're keeping it real. We are keeping it real. Warren is just a low IQ fool. What's up, Real Ice Bear? Skull to you. Yeah. I mean, man, she's just been at it. Now Gary Gensler is gone, which was her right-hand man. And it's just her, like, just hanging on by a thread, guys. Like, please make this work, because the banks are lining my pockets. Imagine all her trades went on the blockchain, huh? Imagine that. Imagine she had to be accountable for things. That wouldn't be good. Brent, what's up? Good morning from New Zealand. Ooh, great work. Thank you. Nice to have you. Yeah, we're going to play a clip from Senator Warren right now, and I'm going to update you as this debate is happening in the White House, because it's just astonishing. We've got a few of the good ones. We got a few of the good guys on the right side of history who are really telling people how it is. And then we've got others that are just clinging. It's kind of like, I always remember that ad when they played this about the internet and Bill Gates was on there sort of explaining why the internet works. And, they're laughing at him on the Tonight Show. And one lady is like enraged because now they're accepting credit cards at restaurants. And how could they? It just kind of feels like what Warren is right now in that field. So good evening from Holland. Ronald, what's up? Funny you mentioned we might have ATH available in Holland, ATH vodka very, very soon. I'm going to have a toast to you guys on the show tomorrow because I'm feeling like we're going to get some positive price action very soon for Bitcoin. So let's jump into the news. Let's see just what Warren is up to with her anti-crypto crusade. I want you guys to hear this for yourselves because it's astonishing. So I'm going to pull this up to the stage now.
Our entire economy.
And I'm going to start. She literally says this could blow up our entire economy. What she means is it could blow up her entire economy. But just have a listen to this. It's absolutely absurd.
And guardrails to make sure that crypto isn't used to blow up our entire economy. So I'm very worried about that. But I want to add one more twist, and that is the Clarity bill has all those problems. But it also has a provision in it that would let any company listed on the New York Stock Exchange opt out of SEC regulation by just digitizing themselves, put themselves on the blockchain, and all of a sudden it turns out that Amazon or Meta or General Motors is no longer governed by the SEC. You do realize that literally would blow up the value of the New York Stock Exchange. That whole...
Wow. I mean, this just says it all. And she's about to go on to say that that's been a golden egg for so many for so long. But who's she really talking about here? I mean, it's like she's really angry there. She's very terrified of this actually happening. So let me know what you guys think of this and what's happening there. But it's absolutely absurd. I'm going to go into the news right now. I'm going to share my screen about what's actually happening in real time in this debate. Because it's also pretty crazy. So I'm just going to go right over to Watcher Guru here. And let's just see what's happening. So we've got some anti-cryptoers and some pro-cryptoers. And let's just start here. So this is what I just showed you, that Senator Warren says crypto could blow up the U.S. economy. Imagine they all went on chain. What would we do then? How would we make money from them then? Michael Saylor says the only thing better than Bitcoin is more Bitcoin. You've always got Michael out there advocating on behalf of everyone. So then we've got Congressman Brad Sherman saying Bitcoin and crypto is the perfect tool for drug dealers and tax evaders. Are they still saying this? I thought this was so like 2 cycles ago. You know, the biggest money laundering machine in the world is cash. Why is this even still an argument? I mean, this is insane. It feels like they're just like clawing their way toward like trying to hang on here. Congressman Dusty Johnson says blockchain tech will transform every industry in the same way the internet has over the last 30 years. Exactly. And thank goodness for you, Congressman Dusty Johnson. I mean, from South Dakota, putting some sense into them there. Like, it is literally like those people that just didn't want the internet to be a thing, and they resisted with all their might. And then one day it was like, you know, you're just on the wrong side of history, and it's just not a good look, and it's just not good for anything, right? We got to embrace this new technology. So Russia's largest bank, SureBank, to offer crypto custody. It's happening. They're talking about legalizing Bitcoin. I mean, it's already happening with Proppy, but Bitcoin as a, collateral for mortgages, for loans. You can actually do things with it now. And it's really cool. Brad Sherman says that Crypto Genius Act is an attack on working families. Oh God. I mean, I should play more of this for you guys, but the show is going to be more about what's happening within the markets, because that is what the show is, to kind of like show you what the news is and then give you a glimpse into what we are actually looking at, because sometimes, there's a lot of noise and it's hard to tune it out. He says stable coins are not stable. That's news to me. And not a coin. I mean, this sounds insane. It sounds like a clown house. Here we got some positive news. White House says President Trump supports tax exemption for small Bitcoin and crypto transactions. Taxes are a nightmare, and especially if you live and transact in the crypto world, there's so many transactions happening, and it's good to see that they're acknowledging this and trying to move forward in that light. So yeah, that's it for now. I just wanted to update you guys on the shenanigans happening in the White House, because it's really, really crazy. The SEC is part of the problem. Yeah, big part of the problem. And their systems are outdated, especially the one for the Howey test, which determines whether something is, security or not. That is like a 70-year-old test, and it just doesn't work for blockchain, right? Like there are just things that don't kind of like, it's like a round peg in a square hole or something like that. Realize Bear, you're right, Megan. They simply see crypto as a threat to their grift. Plus, it's another opportunity to resist. Yes. I mean, just imagine how nice they've been living up until now, not having to worry about anything. And now suddenly comes this huge disruptive technology that could rip all of that away from them, the small group of people that are resisting this because they've been happily, cushiony living for a very long time, for lack of a better word, a very cushiony life, right? And that's their golden goose egg that Elizabeth Warren talks about. So yes, it is a big threat. Yes, there will be resistance. There always is resistance in such a magnificent, revolution on this magnitude, on this scale. But we have the president rallying in favor of this and trying to get people on board for the first time in history. So all of the naysayers are going to have to get on board sooner or later, and this is going to happen. So I just wanted to set the tone there with the news, help you guys understand what is happening on the macro scale, and also now dig into the other questions. Is there a correction coming for Bitcoin altcoins? What should we be looking to now? Is this going to affect the markets? But the charts potentially are saying another thing. And so we're going to go over all that and more today in the episode. And I'll announce the big announcement a little bit later in the show when more people join. And tomorrow's going to be a fun one as well. We'll have our leverage traders on, and it'll be a fantastic show. But today is really important. So without further ado, Trip, how you feeling today?
Hey, Megan, thank you. Doing pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of always, it feels like the same sentiment echoing across all of YouTube, all of Twitter, and it's hard not to pick that up and just kind of run with it. So what we'd like to do here on the show is give a different perspective into what's happening and what our members have seen, what we've been looking at, right? And that's sort of the point of this, is to keep you updated as often as we can with these live shows as to what's really happening behind the scenes, or at least in the charts. So that being said, I think we can dig right into what's happening with Bitcoin now. Trip, if you want me to pull these charts up.
Yep, we're going to start with Bitcoin dominance first here.
All right.
So yeah, our previous videos, you've been watching dominance very closely, and we were watching this, I think the beginning of this breakdown started with this descending triangle that we were watching. So I'll just quickly draw this in here so you can see. This is the move that started all of that downtrend that we have now for Bitcoin dominance. So now we're actually reaching that close to that bottom support that we were watching, excuse me, around 62%. If this level were to break lower, we could probably see an extended downtrend coming for Bitcoin dominance. You could essentially call this a big double top. So this coincides with the idea that we were talking about before with the Bitcoin dominance chart on the weekly, where if this bearish divergence plays out near those overbought conditions and we lose the point of control, then we're aiming for this yellow trend line in the short term. Now, when I say short term, that's relative to the weekly chart. That's just the next move that we're anticipating. But otherwise, yeah, this move to the lower trend line here is what's been causing all the altcoins to take off lately.
Right. And so if we were to get support on that level for Bitcoin dominance, would that equate to a sort of cool off period for alts, or what are you thinking there?
Are you thinking for this 4-hour chart?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, potentially. Like, still there's an idea that this is a left shoulder, this is the head, and then we could have a fairly large bounce coming where it's another shoulder that still has yet to come. Essentially, you'd be looking for, if we do get a bounce, then you're looking for a bearish retest of this point of control level, and then we see that final move to roll over.
Right, and that would potentially start the real juicy altcoin season. But we've already been having some pretty nice moves. And, while Bitcoin has been, everyone's been like waiting for the correction or somewhat bearish, we've been posting other things in the group. So I'm excited to get to those charts now. And what are the final thoughts here on dominance?
Well, right now you are definitely seeing that local bounce. It's probably pretty oversold still. So this was the oversold of bullish divergence that we had previously. That was just this small little bounce. So now I'm just going to get rid of that for a moment. And just so you can see, we are definitely deeper into those oversold territories. A bounce here wouldn't surprise me, but there's still a chance that we make maybe get a bear flag forming here. So that would also give you a bit of a relief bounce from the oversold conditions. So there's a few ideas here. If you get that bear flag forming, that could be a quicker ticket to the move lower. But if you do get that bigger bounce over this longer term period, then it could still be Bitcoin season for the next foreseeable future.
Right.
Altcoins could still follow. Like we've talked about before too, it's just because Bitcoin dominance is going down, it just means more money is going into altcoins than Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that if Bitcoin dominance is going up, that there's no money going into altcoins. It just means it's a comparison between the two. One is getting more than the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's nothing for one while the other one does gain.
Right. And I know you posted a chart just to remind people in our group, what all the different things mean when dominance goes up and Bitcoin goes down, all the different scenarios, right? But if dominance is going up, the best case scenario is that Bitcoin is also going up, right? Because then it can lift the altcoins up with it potentially.
Yeah, I can actually share that picture here. I'll get a clean spot. Just ignore all these previous labels. Okay, so yeah, this is the interpretation that you're looking for. So Bitcoin dominance, when dominance is going up and Bitcoin is going up, that means Bitcoin is outpacing the altcoins. It's Bitcoin season. So that term, again, it's a loose term when you say Bitcoin season. It could be a short season, could be a long season, could be a medium season, but otherwise it just means that currently in the market, it's that season. So if they're both going up, it's time for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dominance is going up and Bitcoin is going down, that's the worst case scenario for altcoins. They get hit the hardest. Essentially, it means that people are taking less riskier trades on altcoins and they could be selling it into Bitcoin. So dominance would be going up while Bitcoin's going down, just because the percentage moves on Bitcoin are a lot lower and it's usually a lot less volatile than holding an altcoin during a dip. Bitcoin dominance going down while Bitcoin's going up. That's the best case scenario for altcoins. Essentially, it means that dominance is going down in the market, but Bitcoin is holding. So Bitcoin's the leader. So if Bitcoin is continuously rising and dominance is going down, it means that people are more confident to put their money into an altcoin instead of Bitcoin so they can capture those bigger gains. So it's the opposite of the worst case scenario where you want to hold Bitcoin because the gains or the losses are smaller. In this scenario, the gains are bigger. So you want to hold altcoins compared to Bitcoin. And then the last scenario is when they're both going down at the same time. This is a fairly neutral idea. With dominance is going down with Bitcoin, altcoins don't seem to move a whole lot. They could either move sideways or they could bleed very slowly, but they don't get affected as much as they do compared to the other scenarios.
Right. Yeah. And so that's just a quick sort of recap on how to read that. So when you're looking at the chart, you understand what's going on. But yeah, so Bitcoin dominance, that's what's happening. We're sort of waiting to see how it plays out. Several different scenarios here, as Tripp described. But that's what we try to do is look toward, okay, what could happen if we were to make a potential head and shoulders, or it's oversold, so it might rally up a bit. I mean, these are all the different things that Tripp is updating the group in real time, all the time. So yeah, it's looking interesting. It's getting spicy here. So.
Right.
Let's have a look, at Bitcoin now.
Okay, we have the Bitcoin 50-minute chart. We posted this maybe an hour or two ago in the group, right when this was still inside of the pattern. So we were saying, hey, pay attention. We've seen these triangles and we've seen these cup and handles inside of these triangles. So take a visual snapshot of this picture in your mind for a second, and then take a look at what total 3 looks like over here. Right, so you have that same triangle forming with that cup and handle inside the pattern. It looks pretty much identical to what's going on in this Bitcoin 15-minute chart. So we were saying here, pay attention to this breakout. We could see something follow very similar to what total 3 has already done. The local resistance for this range is at about 120,000. That's psychological resistance. And then the local support that we're looking at Bitcoin must hold is around 115,000. So even in the short term, we could get a decent move up, but really it's too small of a time frame to say exactly how far we could go. You really need to switch over to the higher time frames to get a better picture of what's going on in the bigger picture.
Right. And what my point here was, we put this 15-minute symmetrical triangle forming out last night in the group, I believe. So while everybody's watching all the rising wedges being drawn and wondering, is Bitcoin correcting now? We've got a different idea here. And it's important to have that perspective. And I think that that's the value of the group, is really allowing you to understand what's happening in these different ways that aren't being showed on YouTube or on other areas, right? Like, keep your perspective and zoom out. Like, we don't have to correct right here and now. In fact, one of the dates we were looking at, which we talked about yesterday, was July 20th. But even then, even though that could be an important date, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get a correction on that date. So yeah, we're watching these in real time, and Trip is updating in real time. And that's why, it's so valuable.
Right. Yeah. The big picture is still, excuse me, very bullish in my opinion. You've got a very consistent parabola that's been forming. Bitcoin's still making higher highs and higher lows consistently. Nothing has changed about this trend. I mean, if you're talking about a correction, we've just left a correction, and people always get very excited to be like, oh, well, it's already pumped. I'm waiting for the correction now. It's like, you've had so many opportunities to buy these corrections along the way. This could be one of those moments where you see another one of these big green streams that keep popping up along the way. They're not as common, right? They don't take too long to play out. It's the corrections that take the longest. But you get a few of these every few months, and we could be in one of those right now.
Right. And then that's like the most hated rally, right? Because people are waiting for that correction that potentially they just never get. So that's how these things play out. And that's why we want to keep you updated on what's really happening and how the charts are looking. So yeah, this is really interesting chart here as well. We'll be following that parabola closely.
Right. Yeah. So that July 20th date, this is a 3-day chart, so I can't actually pick the 20th here, but it's just showing that that was our 0.618 vertical time fib that picks out dates for us in the future. So really what it's saying is that these could be a moment in the chart where you see the next move coming. It could be a correction point. It could be an explosive point. We really don't know, because they just tell us a date to pay attention to. But when you start zooming out and you look at the bigger picture and where that date lines up on the chart, that could be where we start going into the next big pump for base 4. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to be following bases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like a typical parabola does. Back here in 2017, you had multiple bases on the way up. So if you wanted to consider, I think I have to go to log scale. There you go. Now, actually, I had this highlighted for the amount of time that you get these corrections for, and they get shorter and shorter and shorter along the way. So the first correction, that was 159 days, and it was 99 days, and 51 days, 36 days, and then 12 days. So very slowly, this parabola keeps going up and up and up. But as you can see, if you counted the bases before, you had base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4, base 5, and then it kept going still. So again, I don't think if we're going to get that exact same, let me fix this again. There we go. I don't necessarily think we're going to have 5 bases and that's it. We could have a couple more bases to go, or really you're just looking for that blow off top after we get to the point where Bitcoin's pretty much going vertical.
Right. Yeah. And that's the point that everybody's waiting for. But in between, they're always like, hey, how far is the correction going to last? And when can I get in? And when dip? And it's like, man, that's, like Trip said, they're shorter and shorter as you go up in the parabola, technically. And sometimes the bears get punished, man. And that's just how it is. So that's what it's important to look at from the angles that we do look at it in the chart. In the group, and yeah, we've been crushing it. So we're happy to have you guys on board for this journey, and we're all doing it together while it's happening. And these next 4 to 6 months are going to be fundamental and potentially life-changing if you truly apply yourself. So we're going to get into the altcoin portion of our stream. So if you like that, smash the like and share this so we can get this out to more people, and let us know what you're looking at, what you want us to look at as far as charts. Today we have Ethereum, XLM, XRP, Theta, and Cardano. So I hope the Theta and Cardano people are here today, because they ask about those charts every day. And today we've got them prepared. So let's have a look at Total 3.
Right. I pulled up Theta just because I know someone's going to request it. So it wasn't necessarily the one chart I wanted to show, but I know someone's going to ask for it. So otherwise, yeah, we're going to look at total 3. Everyone's expecting a correction. The way I see it is we just broke out of this cup and handle pattern. There is a chance that we do come back down for a retest. So that would be a slow term or a short term reset on some of the indicators on the altcoins that have already exploded, like XLM, like XRP, Pengu, what was the other one? Bonk, right? So those ones have already had massive moves already. They could start going into a correction phase, and that could be where you see a pullback or a retest to this support of that cup and handle pattern. So there's definitely more upside than downside, though. And if you do get that pullback, that's a really good buying opportunity. That's all I'm looking at it as. We're still looking for a move up to 1.13 trillion from here, and we're just breaking above the $1 trillion mark. So even psychologically, that resistance number for the market cap of total 3 is a big deal to be breaking above $1 trillion again.
Right. Yeah. I remember when you talked about it when we did some recordings, we didn't do lives before. And it was just like, man, if we break 1.13 trillion, then it's like blue sky breakouts, and that's going to be so exciting. And we weren't ready then. We could be ready now. We could be gearing up to get ready for that. And that is so exciting. I know you all have been waiting for this for so long. Don't fumble the ball now. And also don't miss the opportunity to be able to compound your gains, right? That is what it's all about. Have different portfolios for different things. And we do have the special for the group going on until tomorrow. So end of day tomorrow, 20% off all of the different groups, spot, leverage, combination. So do sign up to that, guys. Now is the time. Right now is the time. Don't come in when everybody else comes in and everything's already pumped and we're raging. Like, let's do it now, right? And that's the point. So it's time to fly, says CryptoInvest. That's right. You want to leave those 9 to 5s, you better do something about it, right? Even if that's not your goal, you want to get financial freedom, you better take that step, take that leap. That is the most difficult part of the whole thing, is getting started and having the courage to do so. But learn these skills so you can take these actions, and it's going to change your life forever. I truly believe it. And that's why I'm in it. That's why Trip's in it. And we're going places, man. So yeah, I just want to give that. And I think I'll take this opportunity now to say the announcement tomorrow for everybody who tunes in tomorrow to our show. It's going to be at 9 a.m. PST. So 11 a.m. Eastern time. We are going to give away 1 month to our group for free. And also members can win an additional month if you're a member. So we're going to do a random picker in our comments, and we want you in the group. We want to give value back. So maybe we'll make that a Friday thing. I don't know. But tomorrow we are going to do that. So do tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. PST. What is that? Noon, 12 Eastern time. And it's going down, guys. It's going down. I'm going to have a cocktail, ATH cocktail. Come with your favorite drink. I guess it'll be a little bit early for that in the US. So your favorite coffee, let me know what you're drinking right now, where you're tuning in from. And let's grab some popcorn, guys, because it's altcoin time. Go ahead, Trip.
Yeah, no worries. So the Ethereum chart, we had a setup posted here for, there was actually a couple charts that we had. So one setup was to buy this support retest. So you had a bounce back here. You had pretty much a bounce right there. It was used as support momentarily here. Then it was rejected over here. So this ended up being a very important level at about $2,100 for Ethereum. So we had posted the buy the retest of this level earlier in the maybe a month ago or so at this point. I guess, yeah, around June 23rd or so is when we posted it. So now if you got in at that level, we're already up about, so a little bit after the wick, so about 57% for Ethereum. That's a big move for Ethereum so far. It's been actually moving very well. And then we had another setup for a break above this ascending triangle pattern. So if you got in on that alone, that's already a 21% move for Ethereum. We're looking for a move up to 4,000. That's going to be the next critical resistance for ETH. There's also a chance that we get a deeper pull, or some kind of a pullback, I should say, after that resistance is tapped. You've got a low over here that looks kind of like a left shoulder. This whole move is starting to look like a V-shaped recovery. So if you do get that right shoulder pullback, that could be another entry for Ethereum coming. But that's not until about, maybe August or September, maybe a little bit into October. So we've got some time to see what ETH is going to do until then. But as it looks right now, it's been doing very well. If you get a break above this upper trend line at $4,000, that would be the next big move you're looking for Ethereum. So we're going to zoom out. I'm going to clear this chart for a second. I'm going to go to the 2-day chart, and I'm going to pull a fib to see what our extension targets would look like for Ethereum if we were to break this high over here at 4K. So now you get targets here up to about the 2.0 is what I would measure. So that's about $6,800 for Ethereum. So from that level, where we are now, you're still looking for about a 97 to 98% move from ETH if you were to break above this trend, this resistance level first. So keep in mind, if you do get that pullback, maybe you get a pullback to the 0.618, that could be a good buying opportunity. Really, the meat of the move, it looks like, is going to be, oops, let me find this tool here. Yeah, for the rectangle. So it could be more of the meat of this. So there's a bit of a range within this area below the 618. So you're looking for a retest in that area if you do get that pullback, and then your gains would shoot up a little bit, up to about 138, maybe 150% for that move after the pullback entry. So there's a lot of things you can consider here with ETH. We need to see a lot of information first, but those are two things you need to pay attention to: is the break above resistance or the rejection at resistance, and then the pullback for your entry.
Phenomenal. Well, ETH is looking good, but guys, there are things that are going to pump so much harder than ETH. We can use ETH as a gauge, right? And for those of you who are trading with bigger amounts, maybe want something a little less volatile, but ETH is a great gauge to see what could potentially be happening with the rest of the market. So that's really exciting to see. We're at critical levels here, and it is looking good. So Joe, yeah, I was in the group 4 years. Wants to join as a TA. Look, we're always looking for phenomenal traders to join our team. So we will get in touch with you about that. Dan got here late, but great to be here. Dan, welcome to the show. Grab your popcorn because you got here for the absolute best part. Okay, Trip is about to dive into the altcoins, our altcoin special segment. Okay. And also, I just announced that tomorrow on the live stream, we're going to give away a free month to the group for people who are just like ready to learn and want to learn how to trade and want to just take it to the next level. So we're going to do that for you guys tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Be here. That's all I can say. So yeah, exciting times, guys. Very exciting times.
Perfect. Now, the next one we're going to look at is XRP. This one has been running just for the past day. It's already up on this one daily candle. We can take a measure of just that candle alone. XRP has been running about 12% already just in the past 24 hours. So it's been running and ready to go. It looks like we could get another move similar to something like this. I mean, you've already got a very good start. Very similar to what's been happening back here. You get small corrections along the way, but otherwise this is pretty much a solid green stream that we've seen for XRP. So we're watching for a break above the previous high that was at $3.40, and then we're looking for the measured move to as high as the $5 mark at the 2.0. So we might have some stops along the way. So we saw these before, these short-term corrections. Those could be somewhere near the 1.272 and the 1.618. 1.618 is about 4.5, and then 1.272 at about 3.8. But really close to breaking out here. Definitely pay attention to XRP. If you weren't able to catch the move from here to here so far, this could be another one of your entries that you can catch if you wanted to nail that breakout entry.
Yeah. So if you're looking for an entry, let's see what happens here. If we get some sort of pullback or otherwise, just a breakout entry. I know XRP could be become one of the most hated rallies as well, right? Everyone's waiting for that pullback, and it's pumping, man. It's on its own time. So we did catch a lot of the moves in the group, which has been very exciting. It's been fun to trade XRP. So now is the time where your adrenaline kicks in and you're just like, wow, you just want to laser focus, guys. We're right there. We're like those guys who mine for. Have you seen that image? Maybe I'll put it up here. But I played it all throughout the hard times on my channel, and it's like this guy who's mining for diamonds, and he gets so close. He's like one layer away from the diamonds, and he gives up, and he turns around and he leaves. It's like, man, no. But we can sort of see that already in the group. We can see those diamonds, and that's what we're trying to build toward. So now is not the time to give up and get frustrated. Definitely join the group. We're great. We have a great beginners channel to help you as well, and a lot of beginner videos. So we got some more people in the house. Dee, thank you for all the great information. Well, thank you for being here. And I think that means maybe you're a lady. I just love to have new women in the chat as well. Go-getters, everybody who's here that wants to learn and better their financial future and get financial freedom and just learn a new skill. So Dan, would love to see ATH or Tau. Sorry, you say ATH and I just think about ATH vodka. We're going to have a problem because our ticker is also ATH. So yeah. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I know the Aether guys, and I think what they're building is really cool. So we'll have a look at that. We did analyze Tau on one of our previous shows. So I'm not sure if we'll get to that today, but we might try. Great TA, says Sid. Thank you. Thank you. Mansa Musa, XRP to the moon. Oh, yeah, that's our XRP. I remember you from a previous stream. RWAs are going to go crazy. Proppy price prediction. Oh, well, funny you mentioned it. We've covered Pro on the stream so many times, and it is looking ready to pop. It is so close. It's still under $1. It's under 100 million market cap. And they've got people like Anthony Scaramucci as an advisor. I've worked with him. I've just worked with him on a campaign, like advising, helping. What they're doing is incredible. They are bringing real estate on chain. You can now buy and trade and sell your condo or your apartment, your house 24/7 with their technology. And now you can use a Bitcoin backed loan. That means that you can use your Bitcoin that you work so hard to stack. You don't have to sell it, and you can get value out of it tax free to roll it into property. That is huge, and they're doing that. And it's all the talk now. Gemini just was like, wow, you can do Bitcoin-backed loans now. Now there's legalizing it with the banks. Guys, we are entering a paradigm shift. We are already there. It's just people don't see it yet. People like Elizabeth Warren, right? They don't understand, but this is happening. So, yeah, maybe we'll have a look at Aether. And yeah, Proppy price prediction. I mean, we did do Proppy on a log scale a while back. I forget do you remember what the top of that measured move was, Trip? On the log scale?
It's hard to remember. It might have been $17 or something, but I might be talking about something else. Yeah. We go over so many charts, it's hard to remember.
It was definitely up there. And you know what? I would not be surprised to see $15 to $17 Proppy Pro this cycle. And, you know, things get crazy if they really get adopted, and if that comes to fruition and people start really using the tech, and things can get nuts, guys. But I'm just saying right now to like zoom back in, Proppy, the chart is looking pretty okay. We're looking for some crucial levels. And yeah, maybe we'll go over that chart again here later today. Big ATH fan here too. All right, well, I'm just gonna take that as ATH vodka. No, maybe you mean Aether. That's cool. I'm also an ATH fan. All ATHs are great. In fact, we just launched our domain with unstoppabledomains.ath. And people got some pretty crazy ones like bitcoin.ath. It stands for all-time high. It's all-time high vodka, but really a .ath domain is very you can use it for so many different things. So it's been cool to see all those that have been minted. And we're going to do some very cool things with that domain. So stay tuned. Al-Munim, hello again. Late to the party. That's okay. Better late than never. You're fashionably late, like a Spanish person. No offense. They just, they walk to the beat of their own drum here. It's their own rhythm. Aether and vodka fan. Okay. I like that. Realized Bear. Any chance of XLM? Well, you might be in luck because that's what we're looking at right now. I think Trip's just about to start that. So let's dive into some XLM.
Yeah, the XLM, this is a 5-day chart, so we have to look at the big picture now. We've pretty much hit all of our short-term targets over here if you were to zoom into the lower time frames. So now that we've zoomed out, I try to get a really good grasp on which levels are the most important, which fibs I should be using here. So it looks like the biggest fib that I can draw on the chart is now in play. We're actually about to break above the 0.618 fib level at about 50 cents so far. We're just below it now at about 47 cents. So I think this is our crucial level to break before we see more upside. We have a couple patterns in play here, and they're both gigantic patterns. This is a very long-term double bottom that we've been watching for a while, since about 2019 basically is when it started forming this large structure. And then within that double bottom, you could call this a kind of a misshaped cup and handle. The cup isn't perfectly round, but it's still basically a cup and handle. So you're looking for two big patterns to play out simultaneously, and the smaller cup and handle pattern is you're going to be your catalyst for the long-term double bottom to play out. So once the 0.618 level is broken, we're looking for a move to the all-time high at about 79 cents for XLM, and then we're shooting for the measured move at about $1.57 at the 2.0 fib level. The 1.618 is at about $1.27, and then the 1.272 at about $1. So there's definitely some massive upside coming from XLM. It tends to be a sleeper coin until it's ready to go. So it's slow, and then boom, it takes off, and then very slow, and then pretty much, I mean, this is like 3 candles is all it did on the 5-day to make this massive move last time. And the one currently, same idea. This is 3 candles only on the 5-day, and it's already shot up about 119%. So it's very quick once it starts going. I think there's easily a chance that this is basically one impulse move, if you want to call it that. So you have an impulse up and a correction, and we're ready to see the next impulse up. And potentially we get another correction down here. So it kind of coincides with the Ethereum chart that we're looking at, where if it pulls back or if Bitcoin pulls back at that point, we'll have to see what the charts look like by then. But that could be another potential buying opportunity, is if it pulls back to this level again much further down the road, like in a few months or so.
Right. And I love that you are able to see those similarities across different charts and just get so many different perspectives and confluence. It's pretty cool. So yeah, this is really cool to see. And guys, like, just to put it into perspective, like, you don't need to be in and out of the market every day, all day. For those of you who get stressed out by that or have jobs or just don't have time, you can then choose not to pick pennies up off the floor and pick up bags of cash. Right. I heard that phrase somewhere and I liked it. Like, you can just wait for these big trades and go harder when these trades are ready and let them come to you. So there's so many ways to play this. You don't have to be 24/7, in the market. So just think about that. Chris is throwing some hearts up. Much love to you, Chris. Welcome to the show. AM Lover is pensive. He's thinking, what are you thinking about, AM Lover? Chuckles, C, your title. Yes, our title. Crypto could collapse the economy forever. That was our title. It was not clickbait. It was actually something that Elizabeth Warren herself said. Yours truly, our favorite person here in crypto. No, really, though. She is very threatened by crypto and what it could do to, the traditional old ways and the traditional systems, as she's watching them collapse in real time and trying to hold on to her empire as tightly as she can. That's what that title meant, Chuckle. So we went over that earlier in the segment, but yeah, it was some pretty crazy stuff, right, Trip? I mean, it's really interesting to see the resistance to this movement. But then again, I said, for the first time in history, we've got the president on our side, and that's what moved the needle in the election. Was the right side of history, right? And now going forward, then the candidates will know that actually makes a big difference. So yeah, very cool. That's it for my little spiel. Now we'll get back into ADA Cardano, because I know a lot of you love Cardano. I do too. And I'm curious about what's happening. Trip, I think you might be muted.
Sorry, yes, I'm muted. Yeah. ADA on the 12-hour chart. So earlier in the group, we were watching for a break above this yellow trend line. I think we were able to catch this in one of our lives as well, showing the breakout above this trend line here, down at about 59 cents. So we're already up about, let's take a quick measure. ADA's already done about 39, almost 40% move from that bottom entry already so far. So now we've broken above the 1-day 200 MA. This is a very important level to break. Really, it just confirms that there's a strong average of traders that are saying this should go higher, essentially. So now we're looking at this double bottom neckline to break. That's at about 84 cents or so, and we're getting really close to it now. Once that double bottom neckline is broken, we're looking for a move to this major resistance up here. We've had a bunch of rejections up here previously, so we're aiming for about $1.13 as our max target just for now. So if that were to break, then definitely we can consider some higher targets. But for this chart, at least for this trade setup, we're definitely going to aim for that $1.13 mark. So from the current level, that's still about another 39% move, and that would put it at about a 90% move in total from the bottom. So it's already been very good to us, but we need to see this confirmation break above that double bottom neckline next.
Oh yeah, who's ready for $1.13 ADA? I know I am. I'm gonna ride that wave for sure. I'll be paying attention in group to when this is breaking out here. But we did do a log scale chart the other day, and it showed some astronomical numbers for ADA. Potentially not this cycle, but coming, possible. Right. So I'm a long-term holder for ADA. I think it's going to do phenomenal things. I just had my podcast with Charles Hoskinson. For those of you who haven't seen it, go check it out. He talks about how he's going to bring DeFi to Bitcoin and how actually Cardano is the closest chain to Bitcoin technically. So I thought that was really interesting. You learn a lot when you sit in with some of the brightest minds in the world in crypto. And I feel very privileged to be able to do so and to bring that to you. So that was a fun one. Go check it out. We got Mailson Pereira in the house. Are you Portuguese? Brasileira, maybe? Very cool. Let's do this. Voting is happening. Okay, come on now. You guys got to keep us updated as we're in this stream. We have to know what's happening with that bill. You have to let us know. Cardano seems to me the most complete blockchain, the most solid after Bitcoin. Yeah, a lot of people hate on it, call it a ghost chain. They hate on him. I don't know. You know, like visionary people often get resistance. He's trying to do things that are massive undertakings and they don't happen overnight. I have some exceptional quotes from him about that maybe I can get into in another live stream. But I mean, I couldn't imagine a better leader for this movement than him, really. I mean, the ethos of Web3 is this man lives and breathes it. So love some ADA. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan. Love some ADA too. I'm looking to get another position on ADA apart from my long-term bags. So I'm excited. Cardano is going to come out stronger after these votes. I mean, everything's going to come out stronger when this bill passes. In fact, yesterday I talked about my podcast with Kevin O'Leary and how he said that Bitcoin, he thinks Bitcoin is essentially going to range forever between 80 to 200K until we get Bitcoin classified as a commodity or whatever they may classify it as. And we get that Genius Act passed or some sort of crypto regulation. So we filmed that in Canada in Consensus in Toronto in May, and we're so close to that moment now. You would think that would happen maybe a year or two, but no, things are going fast. And yeah, we might be right on the verge of that massive boom. And so it's important to get positioned, guys. Do it now. And back to you, Trip.
Yeah, the last one we're going to look at today is Theta until we start doing requests. So far, you can hear me, right? Okay,
yep.
Good. I thought I was muted again.
Nope.
So Theta on the 1 day, we're still watching this double bottom. It's been a slower mover than others, but if you were able to get in from this bottom support level, then you're already in profit. And it's really, it's just a hold situation where you can wait for it just to climb up on its own. It's a fairly low maintenance trade from this position, in my opinion. So already, if you were in from this bottom support, Theta's already moved actually more than ADA has. It's about 48% already just from that bottom entry. So you want to see a break above this local resistance next, and that's about $1. And then we're looking for a move to the point of control, and that's at about $1.38 or so. And then once that level breaks, we can consider that, you know, probably up to $1.86 next is a bigger jump. But we really want to see a move to this upper resistance around $3. So very similar to Ethereum, you have this left side lower low, and then you've got this lower low down here. And if we do come up to this upper trend line or this resistance at $3, there is a chance that we could have that pullback. So we are expecting some kind of a pullback at some point, and we do have our date set for around October. This is where people think that the market's going to be ending, and we've been saying that there could be a multi-year movement for Bitcoin or for crypto this cycle. So while it might look like it's the end of the world when that day comes, when it pulls back, it could still be ready for another move higher afterwards a little further down the road. So there's definitely a lot of upside still potential in the market. For now, though, we're just trading it mostly to these local resistance levels on the higher time frame charts as a safety measure just for now.
Okay, I like that comment about, you know, October potentially being something different this time than it's been previously. As, you know, with previous 4-year cycle models, you would expect to see a top in October, potentially at the latest in November, but maybe it won't be that way this time. Potentially, we are getting more into a super cycle environment. I know people like really get triggered by that super cycle thing, just extended cycle, whatever you want to call it, acting different as it matures as an asset class, as it gets institutional adoption, as countries are racing to own it, and as the US wants to get their hands all over it. That's why this could be different, among many other factors. I mean, it's just we're growing in adoption, and maybe it'll be just kind of up and to the right, like we've shown on the gold ETF versus Bitcoin ETF. I mean, we're just potentially at the beginning of a massive, massive boom. Okay, so strong Cardano community here in the south of the globe. Where are you at, Mailson? I'm curious. Zach, what's up? Zach, member of the Capital Mindset. Can you look at VRA? I feel it may be a dying token, but it often has big spikes, and we might get another. You know, I actually wonder that myself. I do hold some VRA from a few cycles ago, and I'm wondering if the team is still developing. I don't have updates on that, but let's have a look at what the chart has to say. And Baby Whale Shark, thank you for reposting this stream. We want to reach as many people as possible, so guys, smash a like if you can, please, and let's have a look at VRA.
Yeah, we'll take a look at VRA here. It looks like a gigantic double bottom that's forming over here already, and you're still pretty close to that support level. If you want to call it a support range, I think there's still potential to get in now near these bottom levels, and you could have a lot of upside coming still. What I want to do here first is I want to see what the point of control looks like, just to see where the most volume was. So the most volume was actually down here. You can see actually on the chart alone that there was a lot of volume starting to pick up in this area as well. Not really too different than what's going on before, but there was definitely an increase and people expected this to take off. So the volume has been increasing down here at this lower level. We're going to pull a fib next, and we're going to get an idea for what the targets could be like. So right about there, and oops, this should be up here. There you go. So now the measured move for that double bottom, that's around 0.006484. So that's a very decent move, I think. Let's take a quick measure. So about a 360% move just to that double bottom measured move. But again, very similar to what we were talking about with theta, where you have this left swing and this middle swing. If you compare that to VRA, it's a very similar structure. Even with the double bottom, it's still the same. So you could essentially be looking for a move up to the higher targets. And it looks like it's lining up with the 2.618 level. And that would be closer to about a 480% move. So that's really the target for most of the moves that we're prepared for during this market cycle, is to at least test the highs of the previous tops of the range. So you go from the top to the bottom, and now we're about a third of the way, and we really just want to see if we're going to get that move to the upper part. So this would be your safest bet, in my opinion, so far for VRA.
Oh, phenomenal. I hope you like that update, Zach. I think it's pretty good news that you're still in time, that this trade is looking good. So yeah, like Tripp said, we're getting positioned for these bigger, massive moves. I love what you said about theta being a low maintenance trade, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time to just be glued to the screen and watching every move. I mean, there's different types of trading. Tomorrow, in tomorrow's stream, we have our Star Leverage Trader analyst on with us tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST, who's going to go over some leverage setups. We'll also do a little bit about trading strategy, just to get you guys prepared for what's to come. And also, we are giving away 1 month to the Capital Mindset Trading Group to one of our viewers to give back and just to say thank you for supporting us. So yeah, that's going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST. We're going to go over that and more. So guys, do please tune in tomorrow. Set your reminders. It's going to be a fun stream for sure. And we have Adolfo here. Do you think theta is still going to blow? I do. I am a long-term holder for theta. I know they're developing a lot in the background, and I think we're just getting started. So I think it's kind of cool that we get to accumulate theta at these areas again, because these were similar levels to last cycle before it took off. Which is very cool. I mean, here we are, and if they're still building, and I still believe in them fundamentally, I do think that they're going to have a phenomenal run. So that's my opinion, but the charts also say that we have some upside. So that's what I would say to you. I'm a big theta fan. So yeah, I think on that note, we can probably wrap the stream up and save some requests for tomorrow, because tomorrow's stream is going to be pretty jam-packed. Okay, I know you requested Aether earlier, Dan, so maybe we can cover Aether, ATH, yep. But don't get it twisted. ATH is going to be our ticker. So we'll cover ATH.
What is
Aether,
the ticker for that one?
AETH. It's ATH.
ATH didn't come up here.
Okay, maybe go to
maybe
crypto.
I need to add USDT. Okay, here's one on. Yep,
yeah, that's it. Aether. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, not too different than what we've already talked about. Same thing with this left bottom swing, and you get this double bottom that followed. So we can pretty much do the exact same TA as we did on VRA. We can just throw this stuff up here pretty quickly. You got your middle of the range, the bottom of the range, and the top of the range. So from here, I'm going to add a moving average to see if there's a resistance that we should be paying attention to. That's on the 12-hour. Let's see what that looks like on the daily chart. So the daily chart's a little bit higher. We'll take a look at the 4-hour. 4 hours below, so that's acting as support. We'll check the 8. And yeah, the 8's pretty much the same thing. It's been up there near the daily as well. So as far as an entry goes, Well, we can probably pull up a fixed range volume profile, and we'll see what the resistance for this range is here. And this looks a little closer to a solid entry if you're looking for one. I got to turn this magnet off. Right about here. So that's just overhead at about about 3.5 cents, I should say. That would be a good breakout entry. Otherwise, you can start scaling in. Maybe there's smaller patterns developing down here. We could probably zoom into the 1 hour and see what's going on. So you've got a bit of a structure forming. You could potentially call this a bullish pennant. Let's see what we can draw on top of this stuff here. So this again could be another entry if you're wanting to get in before that breakout. So this is a little ascending triangle, bullish pennant idea, something you could keep an eye on. If this was to break higher, that could be a good entry. Otherwise, you're still waiting for that confirmation break above 3.5 cents or so. But again, the target for this double bottom is a big pattern here. We'll go back to the 12-hour. And really, again, we're not even just going to measure the move. We're just going to aim for the upper part of the range. So if we get the break above the pennant, we'll start from there. And that's about 164%. So it's on the lower end of what the potential gains are on the higher time frames. You might find something that's more profitable to trade, but it really depends on your risk tolerance. Maybe you're accumulating for other reasons. So, it's really up to you where you want to enter and how long you want to hold for.
Okay, that's really good advice. So yeah, guys, again, this boils down to strategy. Are you trading this? Have you been holding it? Are you accumulating for a more long term? What is it that you're doing? But I like that you point that out, Trip, that there may be other trades on the higher time frames that will give you more yield, right? That'll be bigger moves, and that's what the group is phenomenal for. And Trip is just so good at picking out all of the best setups that are primed and ready to do those moves. So yeah, just keep that in mind and go with that. So Joe says, great TA. Thank you, Joe. And Neil is asking about TARS. Do we have time for one last chart, Trip?
Yep. What's TARS? T-A-R-S?
Okay, I don't know. What is TARS? Does anybody know what TARS is? Can you tell us what that is? I'm curious. And Dan, we did tout the other day. I can send you the link, or if you just search, we usually put the ticker symbols in our live description of what we covered. So not much has changed on Tau, I believe. So you can go ahead and check that out as we're looking for TARS. You don't find it here, huh? It might be a really low cap that's not on Trading View. Do you have any more information on that? Who requested that? Neil? Unless it's maybe on some of the smaller trading places.
It's not coming up at all.
Yeah. So we might not be able to chart that for you.
It's TAI. TAI seems to be the ticker here. TARS protocol on MEXC.
Okay. Is that the one you're looking for, Neil? If you respond now, we'll go over it. Speak now or hold your peace. I don't know if Neil is still here. So maybe
I'll do it really quick anyways.
He says AI. Okay.
Oh, he means TAI? T-A-I?
I don't know. It's cryptic. It's cryptic like crypto.
Yeah,
we're trying to help you out here, Neil. So more information, the better.
Yeah, there's a ton of tickers out there, so I need something specific. I found TARS, which the ticker is TAI. So I'm going to run with this. I'm going to assume that's correct. So we'll draw this horizontal. I would like to call this an ascending triangle, but this is kind of moving sideways a little too much for me to confirm that this is really a pattern yet. But otherwise, you're looking for a break above the 1-day 200 MA. That's at about 9.7 cents. But really, I'm going to pull the fixed range volume profile again here. There's a lot of stuff going on over here on this side. So that's pretty much lining up with about 11 cents. So you could be entering on the break of the point of control. We'll just move this line down just so you can see. But otherwise, you definitely want to wait for the break above that level to confirm that there's going to be more upside to come. But you can scale into it on the break of each one, right? So if you get a break above the 200 MA, I'll zoom in a bit. If you get a break above the 200 MA, that could be your first entry, and then you wait to see what happens. If it holds, maybe you could buy on the retest of the 200 MA. Then you want to look for another entry if you get a break above this level at about 10 cents. So again, you're watching that volume. Volume's going to tell you if a breakout is actually happening. If you get a ton of volume show up all of a sudden, it means that the level that you're paying attention to is the same level that a bunch of other traders are paying attention to also. So volume is going to be your guide to decide if these breakouts above these levels are strong enough or not. You should definitely see volume come in on the break of this level because that's the previous high over here. That's that 14-cent mark. So if you were to get into those entries, I mean, you've got a pretty decent move to the upside at the top of the range again. This is just our basic way of looking at it is once you make a high and you put in the low, then it's just a retrace amount of how high can it go back to that all-time high. So maybe even add a fib to this level. And now you've got some more levels to pay attention to. The 272 is lining up fairly well with that other level we talked about at about 14 cents. So you could do some profit taking around the 0.618. That's at about 28 cents. And then the top of the range is at about 45 cents. So I think from the current levels, 8 cents, yeah, that's a pretty decent move already. Yeah, about 440 or 439% or so.
All right. Very good. So you guys, even if this is not the coin that you're interested in, as you can see, you can learn a lot about charting as Trip does it live, which is a real gem. There's a lot of value in that. So you can kind of learn for your on your own, like what to look for and how Trip thinks when he's charting. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. There you go, Neil. Thanks, Realized Bear, for tuning in as always. Sid, what's your opinion about Tia? I think Tia will have a good run when AI picks back up again and just in general. But Tia did some pretty big moves last time we traded. So yeah, I think it'll do pretty well this time as well. And Joe is asking about input settings. Actually, we do save those for the group. So all of that stuff, the deeper analysis, you can see when you join the group. And yeah, there, on that note, there's a link in the description below. Do sign up. We've got until tomorrow for a 20% off sale for everybody to get involved who wants to learn how to trade, wants to take advantage of this opportunity of a lifetime, basically. And so don't miss out on that. And also, we are going to have a party on tomorrow's stream. We're going to give away one spot to 1 month in our group, in our trading group, and I'm going to be toasting with the ATH cocktail. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to take a lot of requests. So come with your requests ready, and love you guys. Thanks so much for all of your support. Thank you, Megan and Trip, for the great streams. Oh, thank you so much, Shamana, I hope I'm getting that right, for tuning in. We really, really love these streams, and we want to keep going as long as we can. So yes, thank you guys so much. Trip, any closing thoughts?
Not really. We just want to see that Bitcoin can break above 120K, and that's going to determine the rest of the strength of the market, at least in the short term. We need to see Bitcoin dominance pull back if Bitcoin is going to keep going up, and that will determine whether or not it's time to trade altcoins or if it's time to trade Bitcoin. And just a message to Joe, if you've ever chatted with me on Telegram, just send me a message and I can talk to you about any questions you have there. So if you've been a previous member, I can help you out.
Fantastic. Okay, we're here to help, guys. As always, have a wonderful Thursday. We're gearing up for a fantastic Friday. We're going to party here on the stream tomorrow. So be there, 12 p.m. EST, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.